You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
Okay. Ina alhamdulillah wa salam Allah wa rasulullah. This is our series on diluting wala wa bara. And alhamdulillah, I like the way Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid has been focusing in on the internet, how the internet is a good media, a good medium for us to use in regards to reaching out to other Muslims around the world, connecting with them, learning from them. But it's also has a lot of evil in it too. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today, that's part of the evil of it, is the anonymity. And mashallah, it goes hand in hand, and I'm going to put this in my recording. It goes hand in hand with Dawood bin Bak. Dawood bin Bak, some man on Facebook who thought he could threaten Sister Laila Nashiba. So, you know, you're going to have to deal with the Dawood bin Baks out there, the threat people that try to be anonymous. They use fake accounts, not knowing that their accounts can be traced and will be traced. They also, you know, try to have this certain anonymity about them. And they end up creating a lot of havoc for us Muslims. They're simply awliya of shaitan. Because whenever you're trying to put the truth out, shaitan has his denizens that will try to stand between the truth. They'll try to take you out in any way, any shape, any form. So today's lesson will be covering pages 249 to 252 of the book, where Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid speaks about how to deal with the challenges of the people like Dawood bin Bak. How to deal with the challenges that come from the anonymity of the internet. So let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen. And the class won't be long because I want to catch that special 4 for 20. That's why it's so crowded, though. The other one might be crowded, too. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. But I'll call ahead, like she said. Okay. Oh, where is it? Where's my PowerPoint? Let me get my PowerPoint. Here it is. Okay. Yeah. One of the brothers here told me I need to get married. It's probably in the works and you don't know. Okay, hold on. All right. Can the people on Facebook, on Zoom, y'all can see that PowerPoint, right? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay, here's the other one. And by the way, I want to thank Sister Yasmin for screen sharing to the Zoom room because when I was doing Dr. Ali's class, may Allah bless y'all for the moderators, Awa and Yasmin and Fame for pitching in and taking care of the Zoom while I was streaming on the other platform. Okay, everybody see the screen? And mashallah, Allah works in mysterious ways. I didn't know that I would get that crazy email and it would end up being the topic. It will fall into the topic of today. And so again, I forgot to put the pages. This is pages 249 to 252. We'll be addressing how to address the issue of anonymity in social media interactions. And it starts off by re-emphasizing for us that anonymity in online interaction It presents a significant challenge because it allows people to hide their true identity and engage in harmful behaviors without fear of accountability. And I want you guys to know, though, this is 2024. Anonymity has changed. It's very hard to be anonymous on the internet because, like I said, we can trace your IP. All IPs are tracked and traced and all of that. So you may think that you're hiding your true identity. You may be able to change your name, but your location will never change. Anybody that has knowledge of how to do an IP checker, which most people know how to do now, even your jobs do it. By the way, guys, you know, your HR professionals, when you apply for a job here in America, HR will they will check your fake social media pages. And then they will have their HR computer specialists. They'll have the computer specialists do IP checks to see if you're in a porno and all that type of stuff. So it's really hard to hide your true identity. But if you come into a chat room, like say, for example, my Zoom room, a person may come in and instead of saying my name is Laila Nashiba, I may take on a name like Black Beauty or look, Allah is my Lord. But don't think that you're that we can't find out who you are, because even the Zoom platform traces every IP that joins it. Okay? So don't be deluded, Muslims, into thinking that you can sneak and do things on the internet, because you can't. But the fact that Muslims are not aware that they can be traced, they do negative things like cyberbullying, which is what I had to experience today. I'm being cyberbullied by Dawood bin Back. I'm being cyberbullied by other people. It also results in hate speech. You hate me. And trolling my stream, trolling my emails. And this can severely impact people. It can severely impact a wider community if the person is ignorant as to how to handle people like that. I know how to handle people like that because I've been handling them since 1986. So without accountability and responsibility, some of these Muslims, they end up engaging in actions that contradict La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. They engage in actions that contradict the principles of allegiance and disassociation. For example, respecting your fellow Muslim brothers and sisters, lowering your wing to the people of knowledge, lowering your wing to the elders. And this leads to disunity. This leads to a lack of brotherhood, a lack of sisterhood. It also leads to the promotion of false ideologies. You don't know your religion well. You're jealous because a woman knows it better. So you nitpick. All you can say is, whenever you mention Allah's name, you're supposed to say Subhanallah. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Whenever you mention the prophet's names, you're supposed to say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Whenever you mention the companion's name, you're supposed to say Radiyallahu Anha. That's all you can find. That's called nitpicking. Because first of all, check your so-called knowledge first. Check and see, do I have to say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam every single time, or is saying it once sufficient? A lot of Muslims don't know that. Do I have to say Radiyallahu Anha after I mention every single companion every time I mention that person's name, or is once sufficient? And that's why we're doing our class tonight, enjoining the good and forbidding the evil. Because this is what we talked about. A lot of Muslims are uneducated about this religion, like Dawood bin Back. Dawood bin Back, you think that you are giving me advice. But what it is, because of your lack of knowledge, all you're doing is causing harm. And then when I don't respond the way you want, you turn into a hate speech. You get aggressive. You behave like the Kharijites. You want to kill somebody. You want to call somebody a kafir. Kharijites. That's the extreme left that we was talking about yesterday. You got the Mu'tazila, who okey doke everything. Then you got the Kharijites, who's ready to cut your head off if you don't do what they want you to do. Oh, the Muslims today. Have we become a twisted nation today? And we wonder why Allah has sent his war at us. So, we have to implement the principles of allegiance and disassociation whenever we come in contact with fellow Muslims. Being anonymous prevents that from happening. So the question then becomes, how can we deal with people like that? People who want to be anonymous, people who want to come into your Zoom room, come into your social threads, people who want to demean Islam, demean you as a dawah. How do we combat the Dawood bin backs out there? I'm going to keep saying his name over and over. So it's recorded. It's on record. Well, the way to deal with it is, first of all, you have to promote responsible engagement and responsible accountability. How do we do that? Well, for those of you who have Zoom rooms, for those of you who have your own Islamic websites, you have to encourage the people that join your chat room to use real names like what I do. I don't allow people to come in here with names like Sword of Islam. I don't allow people to join my Zoom room with names like Allah is my Lord. No, you have to take a real name. Okay, and I can always check to see what your real name is, because Zoom lets us know. Okay, but you need to encourage accountability. And also make rules telling your people who join your Zoom rooms and your chat rooms and your websites to adhere by the principles of al-wala wal-bara. Okay? By doing this, the people have no choice but to be authentic in how they come, and they have no choice but to be held accountable for what they do. Most websites like mine, I have a code of behavior. If you go to the Sunnahfollowers online page, I have a code of behavior listed there. I've had that code of behavior listed since 1986. How to behave. No arguing, no debating, no pickup joint. This is not a chat room for getting a woman or picking up a man. No private rooms, no private messaging. You have to put your rules out, and that falls upon the Muslim influencers. That falls upon the leaders and all of that, to encourage real identities and avatars when they participate in our discussions and such. Okay? The second thing we can do to combat people trying to be anonymous is to establish digital guidelines. Like I said, rules of engagement. If you are going to speak, certain rules that have to be applied. If you are going to post on my Facebook page, certain guidelines you have to adhere to when posting a picture, when posting a video, for example. Okay? And everything should be based on wala wal bara. Everything should be based on the principles set by Allah in this religion. Letting the people know we disassociate from slander. We disassociate from saying things about other Muslims that you have no proof of. So we have to create a virtual environment that encourages positive and respectful interactions. And again, that falls upon the leaders of those groups. And again, always implement what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, because unfortunately most Muslims are not aware of the hadiths. Just like Mr. Benback. Mr. Benback is unaware. He doesn't know if I have to sit here and say over and over and over and over again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I have to say over and over and over and over again, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, over and over again, or as once is sufficient, or even the greeting. That's another thing too. The greeting. Do I have to say assalamu alaikum before I speak every time? Do I have to give salams, or is one person giving salams for the whole group? Is that sufficient? So we have to implement the etiquette from the hadiths of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And in addition to implementing what he said, how he said we should behave in a group, also implement what he said about people spying, about people changing their identity. What does Allah say about people spying and being anonymous? Pay attention to this. Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, "O you who believe, do not enter homes other than your own until you are certain that you're welcome, and then you greet the people there. That is best for you." This also applies to the internet. When you come into my website, that's my home. This is my website. Laila Nashiba is the manager here. When you come into my stream, you're coming into my home, brother. There's a certain adab you have to have. First of all, ask, are you allowed to participate in this? Okay? So the importance of seeking permission is emphasized in many hadiths as well as the verse of Quran. For example, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said permission is a duty towards Allah. So when one of you seeks permission to enter and permission is given, then enter. And if permission is not given, then go back. Well, the same applies to my live stream. Before you open your mouth to talk, ask your permission. Ask permission. Can I contribute, Sister Laila? You come into my Zoom room. Ask, is it okay that I'm here? That's what I like about Brother Shaheed. When Brother Shaheed first joined my Zoom room, the first thing he did was he came in so politely and he said, Sister Laila, I know that most of the women in here most of the people here are women. Is it okay for me to join? He sought permission and we all fell in love with Brother Shaheed. And we told him, you can come anytime you want to. We got Brother Ahmad here. Brother Ahmad grew up on this website. He know he's always welcome in Zoom. Brother Tariq, the two Tariqs, Brother Dawood, you know. But when they first came, they asked permission. You got these new brothers like Dawood Benback. You don't know me. I don't know you. I don't care to know you. Ask permission. Subhanallah. Also, this hadith shows the significance of respecting people's privacy, respecting people's space. Okay? I am a dawah. I am teaching Islam to Muslims from all over the world. And I am teaching Islam based on the Quran and Sunnah with the understanding of the companions. I have my dalil. I have well-known brothers who are scholars of this religion who stand with me and stand behind me. Okay? This is my private space. This is my private space. Have respect for me. Have respect for it. My email account. My email, that's my private space. Your email is your private space. Be careful emailing people. Subhanallah. All right. Also, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasizes the need to seek permission so people will realize that they may not look into other people's home unaware. In other words, spy. What are you coming into my social thread for? You spying on me? What are you in my personal thread for? You trying to find fault with me? What does Islam say about spying on other Muslims? What does Islam say about trying to find fault with other Muslims? Part of wala bara is we're supposed to love one another for the sake of Allah. Brother Dawood bin back. Do you know what loving for the sake of Allah means? It means overlooking the faults of your brother and sister in Islam and instead seeing the good in them, even if there was a verse in the Quran or of authentic hadith that said every time I mention Allah's name, I'm supposed to say subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if there was a verse that said every time I mention a companion's name, I got to say it over and over. Even if there was a certain verse, you are supposed to overlook whatever deficiencies that your brother and sister has that you don't like. And instead, look at the good. Look at the fact that that woman is sitting there every day, dressed the way Allah commanded her to dress. Her voice the way Allah commands it to be. And she's breaking this religion down to these English-speaking people in plain, simple terms, that their fitra has been awakened. You should look at the good and stop trying to focus on the evil that you don't like. Because what you may not like may be something that Allah loves and brings good from. So again, guys, you know, we have to check ourselves. Spying on other Muslims, this is against Islam. Subhanallah. So now I'm going to give you guys a quiz. Like I told you, today's class would be short because I didn't know how long Dr. Ali's would be. Okay? I just have one question based on what we discussed today. Pay attention to this hadith. Sahal ibn Sa'd. He said a man peeked through a hole in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's door while the Prophet had a comb in his hand and he was combing his hair. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if I had known that you were watching me, I would have taken this comb and poked you in your eye. Now, based on this authentic hadith, how can you take this hadith and create rules for your Zoom room for the people to abide by? People who want to come in and be anonymous so they can create fitna. How can you use that one hadith to create rules for your chat room or your web page or whatever? Who like to answer? Go ahead. Come on, guys. It's an easy question. Ain't no right or wrong question. Just tell me, no right or wrong answer. Tell me, how would you use this hadith to make a rule that will prevent people from coming into your Zoom room, for example, being anonymous, creating problems?
I would say, for one, you have to put your name when you come in my Zoom room. You have to use your correct name and same as your email address.
Okay, good job. That's one rule. Based on this hadith, you know, use a name. And your name should be whatever your email address is. You can do that. Good job. What else? Anybody else?
I would respect the speaker. Hold your questions until the end if there's a lecture. I would add that.
MashaAllah. Good job. Anyone else? Good job. What about addressing the spine? Peeking in the door, peeking in the window. Nobody can address that? Okay, I'm looking on here. Wait a minute. I see it. Okay, the brother on Odyssey, he said, I would make a rule. If you're coming here to debate, if you're coming here to argue, walk out the room, because we're not here for that. Good job. If you're coming here to find fault with the speakers, good job. And that's part of mine. We have that rule here at Sunnahfollowers. That's on my Sunnahfollowers page. If you're coming here to debate and argue with the speakers, if you're coming here to find fault with the speakers, you got the wrong place and you will be banned. Yeah, that's on on our rules of Sunnahfollowers. Anyone that comes here to argue and debate will be banned. Yeah, any other rules you could come with? Yeah, brother.
I would say,
yes.
I would say this is not a pickup room, so do not come here looking for fitna.
Exactly. You know, there's, as you can see, I put that hadith there because that's an example how you can take the behavior, the adab that our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave for us in so many hadiths and use them as guidelines to create guidelines to your websites, to your chat rooms, to your Zoom rooms that can kind of force the people to either come right, come true, or don't come at all. Because one thing about the internet is vast. There's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of streams out there and chat rooms and Zoom rooms. If you don't like somebody's dawah, you don't like somebody's Zoom, get out of it. And that's one of the things I sent to the Mr. What's his name? Dawood bin Bat. I sent him an email telling him, you don't like it, you can easily click leave. What are you doing in my stream? If you don't like the way I present my information, you don't like me, you don't like what I'm saying, who told you to come here and listen to me? Leave. The internet is spacious. There's thousands of people speaking. Go listen to some innovator. I don't care. Get up out of here. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Jamila said how to request to be a part of the, oh, she would make a rule asking how to join the class. Okay. No private messages. You're here to learn, so respect the teachers and fellow students. Exactly. Those are all examples of rules you can make from that one hadith. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop right here for the brother named Mark. Brother Mark, Dr. Ali is on vacation now. Dr. Ali, his class, he will try. He's going to be going to Turkey, Brother Mark. He's going to Turkey. And he told me he's going to try. Next Tuesday, he's going to try to see if he can connect next Tuesday. Try. If the internet is good, he'll connect next Tuesday, inshallah. But I'll let you guys know. He's going to let me know once he gets there. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Oh, yeah, Pamela said that's what we do. In our Zoom room, we do that. Pamela said she would make a rule for them to show their face at least once. That's what we do here. In my Zoom room, we usually tell the people, let us see who you are. So if the person shows us who they are, we let them stay. If they don't take off open up their camera, we don't let them stay here.